Okay, this is our last story in our lap book from our celebrations book. Unit 26, The Case of the Missing X. So we have two chapters in our lap book. Oh, where is the letter X? And A Reason to Celebrate. Chapter 1, The Case of the Missing X. That is the title of our story, and the author is Marilyn Sprick, and it's illustrated by Philip A. Weber Jr. These characters might be familiar because they've been in a lot of our stories. Boys and girls, this is a mystery. We've had a mystery before when there was a scarf that went missing. When there's a mystery, that means that something needs to be solved. So there's two words that I want you to think about as we're reading this story. The first one is detective, and the second one is clue. So for detective, the little ants in this story, they get to be the detectives that will try and solve the mystery. And they will look for clues. Clues are what help you to solve the mystery, kind of like little hints, but you have to use your brain to put them together to solve the mystery. So I want you to think, I wonder what the problem is that they need to solve. I think the title tells us. What is the problem? If you look at the picture here, you will see that they have their alphabet on the board just like we did in our classroom, but something is missing and something is there in its place. Let's start to read about it. Oh, where is the letter X? It had been a wonderful year in Mrs. B's class. The little ants had learned most of the alphabet from A to Z. The only letter left to learn was X. Mrs. B said, "We must plan a celebration." Think about maybe you had a time where you had a celebration of something. On the morning of the big celebration, the little ants were very excited. Then Antonio told Beatrice, and Beatrice told Cassandra, "The letter X is missing." Uh-oh, I think I know. Word quickly spread throughout the room. The little ants all frowned. Show me your frown. Mrs. B said, "Everyone gather round. We have a mystery to solve. The letter X is missing." Mrs. B said, "It's time to search for the X. Detectives, we must be." "Look," said Mrs. B, "there's a note where the X should be." Right there. "It's a clue," said Dean. "What does it say?" asked Eaton. Mrs. B took down the note and read, "Dear class, I've had me face to the wall this whole year through. It's not been fun, so I've taken the X, and I'm off to find adventure. I'm going to the apple tree. Find me if you can. Perhaps I'll leave a clue for you." Mrs. B said, "Everyone look at the apple tree. Do you see a clue?" Mrs. B called on Frank, whose hand was in the air. Frank pointed to a note hidden in the leaves. Greta said, "I see it too. I see the note. What does it say?" Mrs. B went to the tree and quickly grabbed the note. Mrs. B read, "Dear class, ahoy me mateys. I'm having fun. I've been running from here to there, leaving little X's in a trail. Sincerely, Captain X." Mrs. B asked, "Little detectives, what did you learn?" Hank said with great excitement, "The thief is a captain." Isabel added, "I think the thief is a sea captain." Mrs. B said, "What fine detectives you are." The little ants nodded their heads. Jamal said the sea captain wrote that he left a trail. Kiko said a trail of little X's. Let's look around, said Mrs. B. Suddenly, Larry Longfoot said, Look, there's a trail of X's under the board. Mrs. B and her class looked carefully under the board. Tiny X's trailed to a note taped nearby. Mrs. B reached for the note and read, Dear little ants, I'm hungry. A little crumb or two I'll share with you. Mmm. Yours truly, Captain X. The little ant's antenna began to twitch. Melody said, Mmm. Nick said, I think the answer is near. Octavia whispered to Penelope, I'll bet Captain X left us food. Quinn and Ryan passed the rumor. Sahel dreamed of luscious crumbs. There, said Tay. Look on the floor. Eulani, Victor, and Wendy clapped their hands. A tiny trail of crumbs could be seen. Yuri and Zeus led the way. Boys and girls, that's the end of chapter 1 of our lap book. So I will finish reading the rest of the book towards the end of the week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want you thinking about those clues and being a detective just like the ants.